Great day, kings and queens. Welcome to another conversation with Drew. Where it's such an honor to be able to share, this gift that's been given to me with you guys. It's just such a pleasure, to share this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, through my experience that's causing me to become the best version of myself, and hope that I help you to become the best version of yourself. This is a wonderful Wednesday, and it's such a blessing, to have life, to understand the meaning of life, to understand your purpose in life, and to go forward in purpose, to go forward in dominance and go forward in order to be great. But along the way, you have some troubling times. You understand me? You have some moments where it's a little challenging in the process of getting there. You have some difficulties, you have some hardships, some struggles, and great morning, Queen. And so it's so amazing, that there are laws that exist, that allow us to function in those hardships, that allow us to have hope and keep faith, in those down times. And so it's such a blessing, to be able to have this understanding, because it's not always easy. I don't come on the, on this program, as I call it. I'm preparing for my daily program on national TV. I don't come on this program and want people to receive a message or have a perception that things are always easy. What up, King? That things are always easy, because it's not. And so along this journey and this process, we have these hardships. We have these moments where our faith is challenged and tested, and and sometimes it gets the best of the best of those who are out there, who are living according to the purpose of their lives. And so it's just so amazing, that I got this principle that really blessed my spirit. And I hit a little moment last night as I was writing, just hit a little moment of, the desire, to be married, to have that companionship, to have my queen, to have that purpose partner. And it was so amazing, as I was in this moment, right? And, it got to me a little bit, and I'm sitting there like, man, Father, like, what the heck? And as I'm trying to write and, going through the plans, it really hit me. And it was such a blessing because, the Spirit led me to literally reach out to all the husbands that I knew personally, reach out to all the husbands. Listen to this principle, kings and queens. I believe it'll help you and where you are. Reach out to all the husbands, and that I knew personally in my phone list, and really thank them for their example. Thank them for who they are. Thank them for their example of loving their wife. So I literally went through my whole list, right? Reaching out to all of these kings and queens, all of these kings, in my phone list that are husbands that have been great examples of being husbands and being loving to their wife. And I literally thanked every single last one of them. See, the power in it is that when you are in a place and you are desiring that thing or whatever it is that you're after, and you get to a place where you're feeling a little down because you may not have it yet, God showed me a principle last night to express to somebody who has what you have your gratitude. And it was so amazing, kings and queens, because the overwhelming responses that I got back, blessed my spirit so much that I wasn't, I wasn't even prepared. I thought I was gonna get some thank you, kings, and that was it. But the overwhelming responses that I got back in return was so gratifying. It was so moving, because what it was that I was desiring, I poured out what I had in me, in gratitude, thanking those individuals for what they were doing, the examples that they were giving as kings, as husbands, as friends, that they were giving, loving to their wives. And so many reached out and was like, man, Drew, it has not always been easy. Some of it, it's been a challenge, but I thank you, for acknowledging that. So many of these kings reached back. Every last one of them that I reached out to reached back and showed love. And so what I'm saying to you is that you have to understand this principle, that when you are in a situation that you're in, as you continue to seek purpose, as you continue to seek fulfillment in the area of purpose, in the area of your giftings, in the area of marriage, in the area of finances, God showed me a principle. I was speaking to my counselor, Dr. Yeshua, and he was like, Drew, it was this moment where I sat down across from the treasury because I wanted to see the heart of the people who were giving to the treasury, right? And he said, you had all of these rich people come, you know what I mean? And they was giving out of their abundance. He said, but then I noticed that this poor woman came, and he said all she had was 2 mites, which are 2 coins, a few cents, and she gave it all, right? And he said, and then I called my students, my disciples, to come and to acknowledge this principle. He said, who gave more? He said, not the ones who were giving out of abundance. He said, but the poor woman who gave all that she had, she gave all of her livelihood. Why? Because when you understand the law of the principle, he said, this is so powerful. He said, give and it shall be given unto you, right? And so when we are desiring something in life, we're desiring to obtain something in life. We're desiring to acquire something in life. See, we always want to receive. That's why I said it's better to give than receive. We always want to receive, but God was showing me a very valuable principle. He said, give and it shall be given unto you. So the first step that you got to do, kings and queens, is that when you're desiring to fulfill your purpose, and you may just be starting, go get some knowledge on purpose and then start sharing that knowledge, and you will get something back in return, right? When you are desiring to be in a happy relationship, but you may be in a single moment in your life right now, you may be going through a season of being single or finding your wholeness, right? Go to somebody who has what you have, that you know, and acknowledge what they have and give thanks and gratitude for what they have. It's a law. Give and it shall be given to you. You got to give first. We always want something from God. We always want something first. No, give and it shall be given unto you. He said what? Pressed down, that's 30-fold. He said shaken together, that's 60-fold. He said running over, that's 100-fold. Why? Because whatever measure you use, listen to what the law is. Whatever measure you use, it shall be measured back to you. You have to give first. This is the law. This is how it works. And see, what I was doing last night when it came and it hit me, because I was, I'm desiring that companionship. I'm desiring my queen. I'm desiring that purpose partner. In that moment that it hit me, knowing that the process is happening, knowing that I will be a great king and husband to a wife one day, right? Knowing that it's happening, I had to get that kiss from the sun. It always come out in the morning. I thank the Father for it. Knowing that that's what I'm searching for, knowing that that's what I'm desiring. Why? Because the law is he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtain favor from the Lord. Knowing that that's part of my purpose, knowing that's part of my journey, I got hit last night with a moment where I was wanting and desiring, but again, I'm single, unfortunately, but I say fortunately because I'm still learning, I'm growing in this process. And so it was a blessing because in that moment, he showed me a law, he showed me a principle. And so when I reached out to the kings that I admired for their husbandry or their husbandry, or however you want to say it, it blessed me because the overwhelming feedback or the overwhelming responses that I got, but God showed me that law. That's why he called his disciples when he was sitting there looking at the people's hearts. He said, who gave more? Was it the people who were able to give out of their abundance, or was it the poor woman who gave all that she had? And so that's why I'm saying to you, kings and queens, is that wherever it is, it doesn't matter. I know we've been going over this piece on forgiveness. And you say, man, Drew, all I got is a drop of forgiveness left. The law is saying give that drop. Why? Because whatever you give, it shall be given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. These are laws. These are principles. And so where you are lacking at, if it is your finances, go give some. Go give some, kings and queens. If you're desiring love, even if you got a smidget of love left, go give it. Find somebody to give that love to. If you're looking for appreciation, you know what I mean, and you're feeling underappreciated, go find somebody to bless and say, man, I appreciate you. Why? Because whatever measure you use, it shall be measured back unto you. It says, give and it shall be given to you. Not wait to receive and then you shall receive. No, give and it shall be given unto you, kings and queens. This is so powerful because I know that you're desiring some things in life right now. I know that you're struggling in some areas of your life right now. And it's rightfully so. It's part of the process. It's an amazing and beautiful journey when you embrace it. But as I was sitting there last night writing out the plan, and the thought came and it hit me very, very hard. And I realized and recognized that in that moment, I could have wallowed in that pain. I could have wallowed in that emptiness. But God showed me, no, Drew, I want to fill that up. And the way that I'm going to fill it up is that little drop that you got, give it. Give that to some kings that are doing what you're doing. Invest that into some kings that have what you have. And it's because it's not a thing of jealousy. It's not a thing of envy. It's not a thing of covetousness. It's a thing of appreciation, gratitude, right? So when you understand that the source has unlimited gratitude, you want to be the first. You want to beat the source. Look, it's like a game, right? It's like a game. You want to beat the source to giving. Why? Because you can't outgive the source. So you want to beat the source to giving. That's why giving is so powerful. Give and it shall be given back unto you. He didn't say, I'm going to give what you get. He said, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Abundance. Because he already knows that he gives the seed to the sower, right? So therefore, I know that I am the source, giving unto my resource, my children. So therefore, I already know you don't have all that I have. But if I see a cheerful heart in you, if I see a cheerful giver in you, why? Because when you hold on to that little drop, right, you automatically shut off. You block the flow of things, right? When you hold on to that little bit that you got, you block the flow of things. And so when you have a cheerful heart and you're able to give whatever it is, if it's love, give that little bit of love you got. I guarantee you'll get back more in return. If it's finances, give that little bit of finances that you got. I guarantee the law will kick in and you'll get back more than what you desired, or more than what you gave in return. If it's appreciation, if it's hope, if it's an idea, I'm telling you, the power is in the giving. It's not in the receiving. It's in the giving. That's why I said give and it shall be given back to you. Why? Because you desire something and you're lacking in that area right now. So the law says give and it shall be given. Whatever measure you use, it shall be measured back to you. Why? Because you have to be first. You have to be first, kings and queens. We are living in a selfish society that only wants to receive. We are living in a selfish society that says take, 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 take. We are living in a selfish society that says only receive. But the law says that if you give, it shall be given back to you in abundance. Because it's a test. It's a test that wants to see that can you be first? It wants to see, can you become vulnerable? See, when Dr. Yeshua was checking the hearts of the givers, right? When he was sitting across from the treasury and seeing who and how they gave, right? And all of these rich people were giving out of their abundance. They're still going to be blessed. That's just the law. You know what I mean? They're still going to be blessed. But see, when that old poor woman came and gave all that she had, she became so vulnerable. She put herself in a place of vulnerability. That's the best place that one can ever be in. That's why that forgiveness piece is so valuable. Because when you understand that when you are able to give after you were still hurt, after you were still disrespected, after you were still let down and disappointed, when you are still able to give in that, you can't think that you won't receive back in return. You cannot think that you will not receive back in return. That's why when you forgive in a bit of amount that you may have left, when you give that, you cannot believe that the law won't work for you. Again, we operate so solely off of emotions that it is destroying a nation. It is destroying a nation because we lost the law. The law says, give and it shall be given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. It shall be given to you abundantly, kings and queens. That's what I'm telling you this morning, is that wherever you are and you feel like you're lacking in that area, and you feel like you're wanting in that area, you feel like you're needing in that area, kings and queens, what I'm saying is that whatever little bit you have, give it. Give it. If you're a queen and you're desiring to be married, find a queen that's around you that has what you have. that has a prosperous and healthy marriage, and go to that queen via phone, via text. If you can do it in person, go to that queen and tell her how much you appreciate what it is that she has. Tell her how much you appreciate what it is that she's going through right now. Tell her you appreciate the process that got her to where she is. Why? Because whatever measure you use, it shall be measured back to you. So if you're not using anything, you can't expect anything back in return. It's the law. It is not my emotions and my feelings. It is the law. So when you understand the law, you simply start operating in the law. That's why wealthy people are some of the biggest givers, because they understand the law. They understand about the purpose of giving, because it's a channel. It's a source that keeps going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Why? Because the more you give, the more you'll receive. The problem is that a lot of us started out with a little bit to give, and that little bit was even disappointed. And so we're trying to hang on to that last drop. That's not the law. It's unfortunate that we started off with a little bit. It's unfortunate, that little bit was disappointed. It's unfortunate, but the law is still the law, regardless of how we started off. So what I'm saying to you this morning, kings and queens, is that little bit that you have, that little bit of love that you have, that little bit of forgiveness that you have, that little bit of finances, or a little bit of hope, or a little bit of faith that you have, don't stop giving. Do not stop giving. Give what you have. I promise you, the law, it has to work for you. But give that little bit that you have. Don't hold on to it, because if you hold on to it, you shut down the connection with the source. He said he loves a cheerful giver. He loves one who is willing to give vulnerably, who's willing to give selflessly. It does not matter how much you have. I pray that y'all get this. I pray that y'all get this, because it blessed my spirit last night. Like I said, I was sitting down writing out my plan. I wasn't even thinking about marriage or companionship at the time, but the thought dropped in and it hit me like a ton of bricks, and it was distracting me as I'm trying to write. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, reach out to all the kings that have what you have, that you appreciate what they have. You know what I mean? That you value what they have, and bless them with your gratitude. And I'm telling you, about 20, 30 kings I reached out to, and I was thanking them, every single one of them, and the overwhelming response. Why? Because give and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. The overwhelming response, it kicked in immediately. I'm talking about my phone was just going off left and right, left and right, left and right, with so much love back in return. I'm the single man, right? But these kings who are married bless me with their words of kindness, bless me with their gratitude. So what I'm saying to you, kings and queens, is that wherever you're lacking at in life, wherever it is that you're struggling with life right now, if it's forgiveness, if it's a marriage, stop asking God to give you something and give first. The law will kick in then for you. You won't have to ask him to give you something. You won't have to expect the universe to give you something back in return. Why? Because you'll beat it to the law. You'll beat it to that point. It's like a race. You want to get there first. And once you give it, I promise you, you'll receive more than what you gave. But he's checking your heart to see where your heart is. Where's your heart right now? Are you selfishly holding on to the little bit that you have? Or are you selflessly giving the little bit that you have? Because he said that when the rich people gave out of their abundance, it was not more than the poor woman who gave all that she had. She gave her whole livelihood. And when she gave her whole livelihood, she was blessed more than even the rich people. Why? Because they gave out of their abundance. She gave all that she had. So when you are able to understand this principle, stop being afraid. That's why your money is still short. That's why your love life keep falling short. That's why your friendships keep falling short. That's why your desire for someone to forgive you for your wrongs keep falling short. Why? Because the little bit that you have, you want to hold on to instead of operating in the law. Well, that's emotions. Emotions is causing you to hold on to that. Why? Because you've been hurt before. You've been let down before. You've been abandoned before. You've been disappointed before. You can't expect somebody to give you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you, God, if you keep giving lies. It just doesn't work like that. You can't give 60% of truth. You can't give 80% of truth. If you want the whole truth and nothing but the truth, give 110% of the truth, kings and queens. It's law. And I understood that simply by applying the law last night in my quiet time, in my quiet space, when I was desiring companionship and it became overwhelming. I took that bit that I had and I poured it out to the kings that has what I desire. And it blessed my spirit with the overwhelming feedback and responses that I got. So what I'm telling you this morning, kings and queens, right, is that where you're lacking at in your life right now, where you desire more in your life right now, don't hold on to the little bit that you have. Please don't, kings and queens. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're going against the grain. You're going against the law. Don't hold on to the little bit that you have. Pour out that little bit that you have to someone who has what you desire. When they have what you desire and you pour out your gratitude, God has to honor that. He has to then pour out more to give to you so you can express more of the gratitude. This is how it works. These are laws. So if you have a lack in your finances, right? Go bless somebody right now who needs what you have or who has more what you have. Go bless them. It says, Drew, it don't make sense. Why would I give more? Why would I give more to somebody who has more than me? Why? Because it's the law, right? When you pour into somebody who has what you have, the law has to kick back in for you and bless you. It's the law. It has to give back to you. It is the law. Show me right now people who are living abundantly in love that's giving a little bit of it. Show me right now. The wealthy corporations right now that you guys go to work for, they are some of the biggest charity givers in the world. Whether it's a tax write-off at the end of the season, it does not matter. The point is that they're still operating in a principle. They're still giving. They're still giving. It does not matter if it ends up being a write-off. That's just the system. They're just playing the system. The system said if you do that, then we'll write it off. That's just the system. That's not their fault. They didn't create that system. They're just operating in a system. So what I'm saying to you is that if you want an abundance of love, if you want an abundance of finances, if you want an abundance of friendships, if you want an abundance of faith, if you want an abundance of appreciation, what I'm saying is that if you lack in appreciation and you only got a little bit left, if you lack in love, you only got a little bit left. If you lack in finances and you only got a little bit left, what I'm saying is go give that little bit to somebody. Why? Because God is unlimited. Have you stopped running out of money? With the little bit you got, have you stopped running out? No, Drew, because I got a job. Exactly. Have you stopped running out of money? Listen, this is so deep, right? A bum on the street who's broke, who's completely broke, they're standing on that corner, right? It's guaranteed that they may just get 50 cents. They may get $1. They may get $50. But the point of it all is that even someone who we deem as being completely wiped out of finances and broke, they still can get money in a single day. They still can get some type of finances, some type of resource in a single day. Why? Because the wealth has never left the country. Tell me where wealth has left the country. Show me. I'm not talking about the country, but I'm talking about the earth. When has wealth ever left the earth? Have you ever seen wealth leaving the earth? No, because it can't run out. It cannot run out. Therefore, love can't run out. Appreciation can't run out. Finances can't run out. So what I'm saying to you is that if you are lacking in those areas and you desire more of it, give the little bit that you have. Be like the poor woman who gave the 2 mites, who gave her whole livelihood. That's how you get to the place of the rich people who gave out of their abundance. And I'm not just saying that in the realm of finances. I'm saying that in the realm of love and companionship. I'm saying that in the love of hope and faith. I'm saying that in the love of appreciation. I'm saying that in the in the area of all of the places that you desire to have more. Give, and it shall be given to you. It's not saying it shall be given to you. And then give. It's saying give, and it shall be given to you. What's going to be given to you? The measures are going to be pressed down, shaken together, and running over. That means abundance. You go under your faucet right now, put your cup in there, and put a little bit of water in there, and then cut it off. And then turn that bad boy on, turn the faucet on, and just let it run. And then see what you're going to get. If you need a visual, see what you're going to get. And when that bad boy fill up that cup and it keeps going over and it seems like it's never ending and that faucet would never turn off, that's what you're going to get in every facet of your life when you begin to apply this law and principle. I promise. I promise. It has to work. It has to work. I promise. You understand me, kings and queens? Because it's law. That's what I'm searching for every day. That's why I have to keep going through these experiences like I did last night. Because my whole life, my whole heart, my whole mind, my whole existence is searching for these principles and laws. Because I didn't come from this. So I needed to know how I can be successful at life. All the way around the board, in every facet of life, in every area of life. That's why I read these books every single day. I study the word. I listen to audios every single day because I had to learn how this worked. So I have to go through it in order to then come to you, kings and queens, and be able to share it with you. So then you can go and take off like a rocket. Look, I'm laying down my life so you don't have to lay down yours in these areas. So what I'm saying to you is that whatever area of your life that you're lacking in, listen to this king today, right now, this very second, this very moment. I appreciate you. And literally give whatever you have left in that area. It does not matter what the area is. You don't even have to tell me. That's between you and God. Give in that very area. If it's well, listen. Again, it's something as small as, if you're searching for purpose, right? Go get some information on purpose. Just listen to an audio and get an idea, right? Then take that, marinate on it, and then go share that with somebody else. This is what the law is going to do. Then somebody has to, they have to. Somebody has to then come back to you and share something that's going to benefit you. It's the law. It is the law. It has to work. Listen, if you're speeding and a cop see you, they're going to pull you over. You're going to get a ticket. Why? Because it's the law. If you're standing on top of a building and you jump off, you're not going to fly. You're going to hit the ground. Why? Because it's the law. It's that simple. Period. It is that simple, kings and queens. These are spiritual laws that I'm talking about. Yes, they're not as physical as the law of gravity and the law of speeding. These are spiritual laws. I know it's hard for some to conceptually understand. That's okay, but I'm gonna still keep giving it to you. I'm gonna still keep planting the seed. Maybe somebody come one day and water the seed, and God will give the increase. But what I'm saying to you right now, kings and queens, is that it blessed my spirit last night to see how when something became overwhelming in my life in an area that I'm not full or fulfilled or complete in, the little bit that I had in that area of companionship, of being a husband, of being married, of being a best friend to a queen, I then took that and I took the law and I applied it, and I reached out to all the kings that I had in my phone list, on my contact list, and I poured out my gratitude for them. I poured out, I said, man, kings, I just want to say I thank you for your example and your leadership in the area of being a husband and treating your wife as your best friend. I said, I thank you for that. I thank you for allowing me to see that. I thank you for allowing me to share in that and the experiences that I've had with you guys. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the response was so overwhelming. The feedback was so overwhelming. The encouragement was so overwhelming, and they didn't even know I needed to be encouraged. But I poured out. And so I want to share with you guys that principle just does not work for Andrew Clayborn. It works for everybody that's under the sun. I love you guys. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. But remember, it's not a look, it's a lifestyle, because we do this every day, not to impress people, but to leave an impression on the earth. If you want to donate to this movement, inbox me or go to my, hit me up in my email account at Andrew D. Clayborn, that's CLAYBORN @gmail.com. DM me. We are definitely very appreciative of donations. Why? Because we're taking what was given, because we want everybody to be a part of this, and we're building something that's going to touch the globe. We're not staying here on Facebook Live for long. We're not staying here in Ohio for long. We literally want to touch the nations, but we want you guys to be a part of that through your donations, through your seeds, through your sowing, however it is. Again, the principle is what it is. Give and it shall be given back to you. Whatever measure you use, it shall be measured back to you. When you invest in somebody else's purpose, somebody will be a blessing to yours. I love you guys. Peace.